Everybody, we're gonna go over these two books. This is that 25-cent book. I think they gave it away for free on New Comic Day. It's weird. Like, I totally forgot the 4th was the free comic book day thing. I totally forgot and didn't even go. That's the first time I haven't gone to free comic book day in 10 years, however long they've been doing it. And then when I found out, I still had no desire to go. I think a lot of it has to do with most of the time, the books just aren't very good that are free. I think it's good for new people, but when you're reading comics consistently every week, buying new books, it's like, eh. Last year I really wanted to go because I really wanted the Power Rangers book. And that book ended up being worth like $20, which is crazy considering it was free. That was really the main driving point that I wanted to go out for that free comic book day. But this year was like, the one that I would want to read, there was a Maximum Carnage one or whatever, the Carnage event that's going to be this fall. But it's the Marvel ones, they're going to be on the website for free next week. It's like, I just wait. So, yeah, I didn't go. It's kind of sad in a way. It really shows the desirability of collecting some of these garbage comics. Because I'm serious. Every time I get a video, I'm like, there's only a handful of really good comic books. Most of them suck. Most of them are garbage. And that's really sad, when you look back in the day, there used to be so many good books, and it's just like now, there's just nothing. There's nothing there. There's only 4 books that I really look forward to reading. And everything else, I'm just like, just like this. You know what this says? And we're going to start off with this book first. We'll go over that towards the end. So this is DCEASED. And this is pretty much ripping off Marvel's idea. So Marvel has Marvel Zombies, which here's the cool thing about that. When it first launched, they had Robert Kirkman writing it. If you don't know who that is, that's the guy who writes Walking Dead. So that's kind of cool. And going back and reading that, it was an interesting idea. The heroes were zombies, that they still had intelligence, but they're so driven by hunger, they just become villains, basically. It's a decent story. I liked it. This is basically a take on that, but different. So these are basically 28 days later zombies. And so the point of what happens is Darkseid comes to Earth looking for the other half of the anti-life equation. And how he does it is he actually takes Cyborg and puts the anti-life equation, the half that Darkseid has, inside of him, and his system solves it. That's basically it. I want to point out something, though. This is written by Tom Taylor. So there's a really interesting thing about Tom Taylor books, and I'm sorry if you can hear that mower. Here's the thing with Tom Taylor that I find just fascinating and interesting. Over at Marvel, it's like the chains are off of Tom Taylor. He's allowed to go full crazy NPC, whatever he wants, Orange Man bad, all over the books over there. He can do whatever he wants. They don't care. They're like, just have at it, Tom. You go full political style, whatever you want to do, we got you. That led to him doing X-Men Red, where he had a woman in jail who fought the gender pay gap. I'm not even making that up. And he had he had the so Jean Grey, or not Jean Grey, but the woman that fought the gender pay gap, her mutant ability was that she could change machines and get online and live the internet or something. And what she did was she used her powers to stop sentinels that were targeting and making people hate mutants. And she used all of the online hate that she stored up inside of herself to try to make the world easier, and unleashed it on the sentinels, which overloaded them. That's a real plot. So over at Marvel, they're like, do whatever you want. It really shows the quality of the editors of Marvel versus DC, where they chained him up. So I didn't read Injustice, but I guess from what I've been told, Injustice is actually a good book that he wrote. He does a good job on it, and it's good. and there's no like Orange Man bad stuff apparently. And then you go over to DCEASED here, which is the 28 days later version of Marvel Zombies, but with DC characters. And you put Tom Taylor on it, and he actually does a decent job. I have no real complaints about this book other than, it's been done a million times, but it's not bad. It's actually kind of interesting, and there's no Orange Man bad in it, which really shows you like DC editors seem to kind of maybe care a little bit, which is shocking, I know, because if you go over to Marvel, it's like, do whatever you want. We don't give a damn. So the only thing that was cliche for Tom Taylor, and I've read a lot of Tom Taylor books now, let me tell you, all of his Marvel books, I've read them. But the only cliche thing here is when Cyborg goes back to Earth, he goes back to Earth and he brings the anti-life equation with him. How that's done is it's done through the mobile network. It's done through the internet. Now, I was thinking it was done through social media at first, so I was really going to burn it. But it's just basically looking at a screen seems to turn you into the 28 days later zombie, which it comes from the anti-life equation. And Cyborg is patient zero. He affects the internet. And Superman ends up saving a couple of people. But it looks like they're counting on Batman. So Superman's like, don't worry. Batman's got a contingency plan. He's going to take care of it. And we flash forward to Batman in his cave. And he goes and sees Alfred, who's fighting off Tim Drake and Nightwing. And he ends up getting scratched and bitten. So it looks like Batman is going to be taken out. And that's why the world ends, because Batman isn't there to save it. That's an interesting idea. And I'm quite shocked that Tom Taylor can actually write when he seems to be shackled down and can't put his Australian crazy all over things. And when I say Australian crazy, it's not a dish on Australian people. It's that he's obsessed with American politics. He's obsessed with things that are going on over in America, and he lives in Australia. Like everything, like he's obsessed with Trump. He hates Trump, and that he lives in Australia. To me, that's like weird and strange, So good job. Like this, actually, I would recommend this. I thought this was an interesting book. I will probably read the next one. I was quite like blown away. Like, wow. This was actually pretty decent. This is a decent idea. I like a little bit of zombie stuff. Okay, well, let's see what you can do, Tom Taylor, when you're shackled and you can't go crazy. Maybe he'll prove me wrong and go full-on NPC, and this will go to shit. We'll find out probably by usually issue 3. They don't say how long this is going to go. I'm guessing it'll be, 1 of 6. So I would say by issue 3, we'll know if the internet has a orange man running it. Then that's the anti-life equation. We'll find out. And then we have this. So this is Year of the Villain. And it looks like you're going to have to read, so this looks like DC is going full Marvel. And they're doing an entire, basically, look at all these books that this event's going to run over. No Justice, Justice League, Justice League, Justice League, Justice League Annual. Oh, well, never mind. I'm wrong. City of Bane. Oh, okay, no. Batman. So, Year of the Villain. So, basically, what's going on in Year of the Villain, Lex Luthor is sacrificing himself and giving all of his assets and money to villains so that they can kill all of the heroes. It looks like it's going to be a entire company event. So, every book is going to be affected by this, meaning that you have to read the main one, kind of others. That's Marvel level stuff, DC. Please don't do that because I will not read anything that ties into this event. I hate events. Brian Michael Bendis is heavily involved, as is Scott Snyder, which means every single comic issue is going to be a major novel, which I'm not interested in reading at all. I really hope that this doesn't infect the 2 DC books I'm still reading, because Brian Michael Bendis is trash. I'm not happy with this. But I am happy with this. So please don't become Marvel. Tom Taylor, I would like to see you write a good book. It would be interesting to see if you can actually do that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe. Check out check out the links in the description, and I'll see you guys on the next